Hello friends, today we're going to be talking about how to get certified as a life coach. Most of us have heard the term life coach. Many of us have even thought about doing it as a main gig or as a side hustle. However, without the right certifications or credentials, you might not get too far. So today I want to help you understand how to get certified as a life coach. So life coaching is one of the fastest growing industries out there today. The demand for life coaches has never been higher. So how do you participate in this fast growing industry? Well, today we are going to break that down for you. First, we want to identify what a life coach is, what are some pitfalls to avoid, and explain why certification matters. And finally, talk about the different certifications that exist out there and which ones might be right for you. So if you're ready, let's go. So what is a life coach? A life coach is somebody who has lived a life, they've gained a lot of experience, they feel that through their trials or challenges or even successes that they've had in life are able to impart some knowledge to somebody to help them maybe have the success or avoid pitfalls in their life that they once experienced. Life coaches come from all sorts of different areas and all sorts of different backgrounds. It just doesn't mean that somebody's had major success in their life, although if that's what you're looking for in your life, that might be someone you want to pursue or get information from. But there's great organizations out there that have life coaches that work for them. And this is their topic of study. This is what they put their time, energy, and effort into. This is what they study, so they're able to impart that knowledge to you as an individual. And a lot of times, a life coach is somebody who can see something that you can't, because honestly, when we are ourselves, we see life through one lens. Having somebody from the outside help us question what we're seeing might be enough to help us change our paradigms or think differently. That's why a life coach is so important. That's really what a life coach does. Now, understand that there is a difference between an influencer and a life coach. An influencer might be somebody who gained popularity through different social media platforms, but they're not necessarily somebody who is a life coach. Sometimes people get those confused. Also, a life coach is not a psychologist, not all the time. And that's one thing to be aware of, is just because you hire a life coach doesn't mean you're getting a psychologist or a counselor, right? Usually somebody who's a psychologist or a counselor has to have a degree or some sort of education, some sort of documentation to prove just that. Life coaches don't profess to be that. If they do and they're not, that's probably somebody to avoid. So here are some pitfalls to understand when getting involved in life coaching. Now, to become certified as a life coach, one of the biggest challenges is that it can cost money. Sometimes a lot of money. Depending on what type of certification you're going to get involved with, there's a cost usually involved to become a life coach. Rarely does somebody wake up in the morning and say, hey, today I'm going to be a life coach. Now, they might say that, but there's usually a step or process that they have to go through in order to arrive at that. And a big part of that are certifications. And realize, if you say you want to be a life coach and you continue down that path, customers aren't just going to show up on your doorstep. That's why when you're looking at certification programs, it is important that that program have some element about how to market yourself as a life coach. Because honestly, there are great coaches out there that I've seen in my life that have great information, great knowledge to impart, but they don't know how to market it and get clients. If that's the case for you, working for an organization who brings in students for you might be a great place to start. If you're looking to get started as a life coach, definitely look into organizations that do just that, and they hire coaches and bring clients in for you. So why does certification matter? Number one, it says that you've invested time, energy, potentially money into your craft, just like anybody else. If somebody's a lawyer, you know they spent a lot of money, invested a lot of time into their craft. They've worked many, many hours to become really good at what they're doing. And they continue to learn, they continue to get better. And it shows some form of mastery. Many years ago, when we first started our sales organization, we wanted to educate people in personal development. We just saw that when people were taught how to become a better version of themselves, it helped them in all areas of their life. That's why life coaching can be so powerful, right? You help somebody just change the way they think about things a little bit differently, and the magic starts to happen. They become a more engaging person, more interesting person, and they improve all areas of their life. So when we started that, we realized that we don't have a ton of clout as an organization that offers life coaching, but we work with some people who do. So we started out getting certified by some of the thought leaders that we worked with. And just by doing that, our coaches received certification after certification after certification that really added clout to what we do as an organization. So the organization I currently own does life coaching, and we have tons of certifications that we're able to impart onto people that can help them in that area to become a life coach. Now, there's different types of certifications. There's high performance certification, right? Understanding how to get performers who are already performing to elevate their performance to a higher level. And that's through a lot of different methods. There's a certification in the law of attraction that we work with. We've worked with some amazing thought leaders that really understand the power and the law of attraction. We've worked with thought leaders who completely understand mindset and shifting mindset to help people be the best version of themselves. And there are numerous other certifications. The company that I own, we decided to focus on a threefold mission for our certification and our personal development. Number one, we help people view life through a different lens. Now think about that. We go throughout life every single day and we view life through our lens. If you have somebody from the outside that's giving you insight and input or allowing you to question things differently, that allows you to see life through a different lens. So for example, rather than saying, man, I failed at this or I failed at that, you say, I learned or I grew. If you just change your mindset from a failure or from a scarcity mentality to one of abundance, things start to shift dramatically in your life. The second thing we do in our organization is help people identify and remove self-limiting beliefs. Probably the biggest challenge we see when working with individuals is that they come to us with limiting beliefs. Now, what is a limiting belief? It's a belief that they can't accomplish something because of limitations they've imposed on themselves, right? Somebody might say, I'm not good enough. I can't do that. And how did they get those limiting beliefs? It could have started at childhood, right? It could be something as simple as like your parents growing up saying, hey, money doesn't grow on trees. So they have a scarcity mindset about money. Might not be something they say all the time, but it shows through in their actions. So if you can help people identify what limiting beliefs are holding them back and help them remove that, man, the windows open up, opportunity opens up for them. So it's really awesome to see. And the third thing we do in our certification program is elevate performance. Right? Most people we work with are already performers, but if we can raise their performance through energy, clarity, physiology, then you start to see good things happen. Just think about it. If you can raise somebody's performance from say maybe here to here or a 10% increase, amazing things start to happen. So ultimately, you've got to choose the one that's right for you. There's lots of certifications out there. You can go online and find tons of groups that are willing to certify you. I like some of the big name ones out there just because it has a ton of clout. And if you've put time and energy into that, people recognize that and realize that you are a master of your craft, that you really value what you do. That's one of the reasons I love what we do, right? We help people become the best version of themselves. As I mentioned in a previous video, our mantra is to help people reach their full potential. One story just to finish off here. I remember one student that came to us. She was awesome, but she had had some struggles early on in life. She'd had drug addiction, she had had problems, she'd had divorce, estrangement with children. And we started working with her and found out that she was burdened with a lot of limiting beliefs. And as we started to work through that process and help her realize that those limiting beliefs were just beliefs that held her back, we started to uncover things that she never realized were there. And when we helped her realize that she could remove those through different techniques and strategies and a different view on life, all of a sudden she started to blossom. She got rid of any addictions she had. She really began to flourish and thrive. And it was amazing to see that in her life. Now, this is something I'm passionate about, something our organization does, but I'd love to hear from you. What are some of the things that you've seen work really well? Or what are certifications that you know about that help people get on the path to becoming a life coach? Please let me know. Comment. I'd love to enter in a dialogue with you. Also, remember, I've got a free gift for you. It's a sales training, 12-part, called Persuasion and Influence. You might say, how does that apply to me as a life coach? Well, if you're going to attract customers, you got to have persuasion, you've got to have influence. Normally, each part is $100. It's a 12-part series. We're giving it away for free. Just click on the link below, aaronsalestraining.com. Thanks and have an awesome day.